So yes, Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance is nearly here. It's releasing on June 22nd, and yes, I have brand new details about the gameplay mechanics, class system, AI features, and more because of a brand new dev interview that recently dropped. We're going to go over all of that in just a moment, plus find out how you can actually start playing this one right now through their early access program. And Dungeons & Dragons video games are about to become way more common according to publisher Wizards of the Coast. We're going to talk about that here in just a moment as well. So let's dive into this. Hey everyone, what's happening? Open World Games here, and yes, we are talking about Dark Alliance. First, we're going to start with this brand new interview right here. It comes from WCCF Tech. They got the chance to interview the developers, and they found out all sorts of fascinating stuff. So let's dive into it right now. Starting with this question right here, it says, one element of the beloved pen and paper Dungeons & Dragons that you translated into Dark Alliance is the short rest mechanics. If the community responds well to that, are you open to exploring the addition of more D&D mechanics into Dark Alliance? They responded saying, you might have noticed recently that we are adding couch co-op to PS5, Xbox XS, and PC after launch. We take our community's comments and suggestions to heart. The rest is all a matter of scale and feasibility. And you know what? They say the same thing is true about post-launch support, which of course we're going to be getting actual post-launch support with this game, which is cool. But you know what? They have another question here. They say this: how long are you expecting missions to take on average? Are there any randomized elements or objectives to add variety and incentivize replayability? Great question there. They responded saying how long each level takes depends on a variety of factors. If you're on the lowest difficulty rating, a party of 4 can complete one mission in about 20 minutes. If you have lower level gear and abilities, challenge rating 2 of the same level could take up to 40 minutes. It depends on the challenge rating, what gear you have equipped, how many special moves you've unlocked, and how many people are in your party. So it varies. And you also have to remember the other thing that varies is the AI, in that they will scale with you according to how many players are in your party as well, which is always a nice feature. Games that don't have that and, you know, co-op at the same time baffle me, so I love that they have that in Dark Alliance. They did say actually that the more people in your party, the tougher the game will be. Now they ask this right here: can you talk about the emergent combat system of Dark Alliance? Will combos work in a way that potentially enhance teamwork? Interesting. They say the emergent combat system means that combos and move chains are not pre-canned. Moves have opportunity windows where they can be chained into other moves. As you unlock new moves, experiment with different combinations, and master your arsenal, you can devise your own combos. As for teamwork, one example among many is that the combo meter that fills the ultimate gauge is shared, so coordinating with your teammates to alternate attacks while others regain their stamina is a way to get that combo chain to run near indefinitely, which means filling your ultimate meter faster. This is actually something I did not know. So in co-op, it's definitely going to be imperative that you time your combos and attacks together, and that no one is really getting hit. That's going to be super important when you are in combat, which will make things very, very interesting if someone does actually get hit and breaks that combo chain. Now, it says this right here: how important is loot going to be for a character's power compared to player's skill? They say gathering loot and collecting the right gear is important for advancing and progressing through the harder difficulty levels. There are 6 challenge ratings in the game, or 6 levels of difficulty to master. Yeah, loot is going to be super important to this game. Gear, because also there's going to be gear sets which give you bonuses and resistances specifically against certain elements, and elemental gear sets also that will really help you against those elements as well, and give you bonuses for actually collecting the entire set. That's more challenge rating 6 type stuff right there. So that's like really high level difficulty stuff, so you're going to want to get those sets. Now, they go on to ask this: is there any way to upgrade items through gems, enchanting, and the like? If so, how does that work? Gear can be upgraded with crystals of different quality that can be picked up as resources in the environment and or given as rewards. The harder the difficulty, the better the quality. You can do all of that by visiting the merchant in the base camp in between missions. So yeah, upping that difficulty is going to be super important if you want to upgrade your gear to the best rarity and level. Now also we have this one right here. As players turn up challenge levels in Dark Alliance, do the AI foes get smarter or more aggressive, or will they just have more health points and deal more damage? Now they say this, their direct AI behaviors won't change, but more enemies will be able to attack you at once, making the fights feel more aggressive. The elite system will generate unique abilities for them that will force you to adapt to each encounter a little bit differently. That is really cool, because also you have to remember that a lot of these enemies that you will be facing off against will also have their own set of like abilities and characteristics. They're going to turn that up and crank that up as you are playing the game on higher level difficulties. Right, furthermore, this was asked right here. With regards to character progression, can you share more on how feats and move trees are going to work in Dark Alliance? Is it possible to freely respec a character? Great question there. Now they confirmed there's no respeccing in the game. We opted for a system that allows you to unlock every move and every feat by the time you reach max level 20. Our philosophy is that we let you progressively unlock your full arsenal as you learn to use it, choosing what loadout you want to use on specific missions, and learning how to use all your tools with maximum effectiveness is where you, the player, need to get creative and, oh yeah, get good. So yeah, you're going to be messing with a lot of different abilities and loadouts, but you have to really pick and choose what you want to do as you play this game. It's going to be wise to really find out what loadouts, of course, work with certain missions and things like that. And that's going to hold true as well for the actual elemental gear that you obtain as well. So it's going to be, I think this game is going to be a lot of learning and, you know, possibly dying on some missions, falling back, regrouping, finding out what you need to do differently with your class setup. Now let's talk about co-op action. It says co-op action RPGs often add new classes or characters post-launch. Is that something that could happen for Dark Alliance, adding more playable characters? They say there's already a plan to add one playable magic user after the game launches. So that is confirmed that we will be getting like a mage type character post-launch for this game. They do have like a pretty good extensive post-launch, you know, support for this game from what I have seen. Hopefully, you know, it kind of takes off and they can continue that through 2022 as well. All right. Now they say a big part of keeping players engaged in cooperative action RPGs is the so-called InGame. Can you tell us what that's going to look like in Dark Alliance? They say one aspect of building the ultimate companion is to get the best gear, and the best gear requires you to play on the hardest levels of difficulty, mastering the combat system, teaming up with friends, and find the best sets for specific challenges as you tackle the game at the highest difficulty, can keep you engaged for a long time. And when your main is all geared up and has become the ultimate badass, there are 3 other companions with completely different fighting styles for you to explore and upgrade as well. So that's basically how they're describing their in-game. There isn't really a true in-game to this. It's just that there's going to be higher levels and challenge tiers, much like Outriders. But yeah, those challenge tiers are going to be worth pursuing apparently because of the rewards. Here's a question. Is there voice chat or text chat in the game? There is voice chat, but not text chat. Now also they ask about local co-op and full crossplay are 2 of the most requested features from the community. Are you working to support them post-launch? I said yes, we are working on bringing 2-player couch co-op to PS5, Xbox XS, and PC, hopefully with the first free DLC this summer. We're investigating on how to support 2-player couch co-op on PS4 and Xbox One after that. Full crossplay is not currently part of the plan. That's kind of a bummer to hear that full crossplay is not part of the plan, but considering that this is also on Xbox Game Pass, I think that, and that's going to be $40 as well, I think the game has a lot of potential to do really well, you know, at first. We'll see what it does in the long term, of course, as it has to compete against other games that will release. Now they say this, will the game be enhanced for PlayStation 5 and Xbox SX consoles? If so, can you share the planned enhancements as well as the targeted resolution and frame rates? They confirm we put a lot of effort into bringing the Forgotten Realms to life in Dark Alliance. The game is gorgeous on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox SX consoles with a 4K resolution at 60 frames per second. Nice. I love that they get this 4K at 60 frames per second right there. That is awesome. Is there anything else you'd like to add about Dark Alliance? They say a lot of us at Took, I hope I'm saying that right, are huge D&D fans and can't wait for the community to experience Dark Alliance for themselves. Hell yes. Alright, so that does it for that interview. Now, a lot of you guys are probably wondering about the early access news as well. Right here from Xbox Insider, they say join the Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance Xbox Insider preview. You can basically join the preview program right here and get access to it. I will include a link in the description below if you are interested in that. Now, interestingly, check this out. It says, video games are core to the future of Dungeons & Dragons. Wizards of the Coast teases at least 6 titles are on the way, including Baldur's Gate 3 and next week's Dark Alliance. So they are really investing big time into the D&D brand when it comes to video games. Of course, they're already invested in like the tabletop stuff, board games, that sort of thing, but they are more interested in video games recently. They just say the audience size is so much bigger and they are wanting to go all in to the video game space. So that gets me excited. I loved the Dark Alliance type games when I was younger, and I'm thrilled to see these games, I hope, are making like a massive comeback. I want to see them stick around. So I really am crossing my fingers that this one does really well. Now get this, you know, they did reveal some good news about Dungeons & Dragons as a brand as a whole. Wizards of the Coast, which of course is the publisher of Dark Alliance, reveals a record year for Dungeons & Dragons in general. I guess they are seeing numbers that are pretty staggering and very encouraging, I should say, as well. Now, also, you got to remember, Dark Alliance is going to be part of the Microsoft, Game Pass, and it's just getting better and better. That's something that I really wanted to highlight. They revealed what's coming up here in 2021. They have so much good games lined up, and then also, you know, you have Forza Horizon 5, Halo Infinite, Dark Alliance, Back 4 Blood. It's just, you see this list, this is just 2021. 2022 is going to be absolute madness as well. So many good games coming up here. So for Dark Alliance to be in that portfolio is really, I think, good news, and it shows that Microsoft does believe in the Dungeons & Dragons brand as well. So let's go over your top comments, shall we? So remember, leave a comment down below. It could end up in a future video, but let's do this. Let's go ahead and go over to my previous video right now. It was called Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance First Look. Free DLC, legendary gear and weapons, and new gameplay. We're going to be getting 2 free DLC packs with new levels, new difficulty rankings, but also an expansion called Echoes of the Blood War, which is going to be giving us that new magical playable character, new levels, and more. I think we're going to be also seeing new bosses. That has to be confirmed. Now, here's what you guys had to say about it. Aaron says, I trust absolutely nothing after Cyberpunk Outriders, LOL, but still does look pretty nice. So, yeah, cautiously optimistic right there. Cannot blame you with everything that has happened with the gaming industry. Still, he still says, looks interesting. Would like to say I'll give it a go, but after Anthem, Cyber, and Outriders, trust for multiplayer games is rock bottom. We'll give it a month or two and see how it goes once released. You know what? That's a great idea. Go for it. James says, I have to admit, I was curious about this game, but it looks horrible. 6 upvotes there. And then we have Bro Bodies who says, this looks really good. So you can see the divisiveness with the opinions here. Dalio says, Driz has been my favorite character since I was like 10. Read every single book to date. This game looks like it will finally do the badass companions of the hull some justice. Stoked. You guys are making me legit want to read these books. I keep hearing about the books over and over again, and they sound, I guess they're amazing according to the D&D community, so I am kind of interested in checking them out as like a compliment to this game, you know, something to like have some lore backup or something. But there it is. Dark Alliance, news and updates for you all. Stay tuned. We've got the game coming up here June 22nd. Can't freaking wait. But stay tuned again for more Dark Alliance and open world gaming goodness. And I will see you all next time. Take care.